We are all different and so unique. We all have our own personality traits. We have our own talents. Don't get caught up, what I was saying earlier, don't get caught up in becoming someone you're not. Hey, beautiful, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you all came back. Listen, so today I wanted to touch on identity. I feel like identity, we forget about identity because we live in a world today where we're all trying, and I say we're all because at some point we were all there. We always would try to aspire to be someone else and not ourselves. So I want to really talk about identity and just dive deep into it a little bit and just go over some things that you can take with you when you're moving in your journey to just make you feel a little bit better or a little bit more secure on what you need to do to, fully own your identity and just know who you are and just show up and be you because you are unique. You are special and you are amazing just the way you are. So let's get into it. So, the first thing I want to touch on is self reflection and understanding. And I throw in that understanding because sometimes when it comes to self-reflecting, for me anyway, self-reflecting can bring up past trauma, y'all. It can bring up those past memories that we don't like. Self-reflecting can bring up a lot of negative things that happen in our past. So we must be mindful, right, and understanding that, we're reflecting for a purpose right now. We're reflecting for our now. When we're self-reflecting, that's the first step to understanding our true identity. It involves looking within and examining our thoughts, our values, our desires, and also our aspirations. And then by doing so, we can gain insight into, who we are, where we've been, and where we are going. Self-reflection is super important. Let's get into the next one. The next one is embracing who you are. Listen, we are all different. We are all different and so unique. We all have our own personality traits. We have our own talents. Don't get caught up, what I was saying earlier, don't get caught up in becoming someone you're not. Become who you were meant to be. And I know sometimes that can be hard because sometimes we don't know who we are. We don't know who we're supposed to be. We're just going with the wind, right? Going with the flow of life. But in part 2, we're going to dive deep into how you can embrace who you are because it's a lot of answers in the Bible, okay? So we're going to touch on that in part 2. So make sure y'all stay tuned for the next part. Right now, we're just going over, the basics of identity. And then in part 2, we're going to combine it with scripture. So the next thing you want to do is define your values and beliefs. Like, what are your values, right? What do you believe in? Like, from the core, like, of your identity. So take that time to reflect on what matters to you. What matters the most to you? And that could be kindness, honesty, family, personal growth. What matters to you? What do you value at this point of your life? When you get the foundation of that, it will initially shape who you are meant to become or who you are. You will be able to discover your identity. Once you start really reflecting on your values and beliefs, because it is so important just to know where you are in that level of your life. The next one I want to go over is navigating life roles. Listen, I know being a mommy, right? I wear so many different hats, right? We play so many different roles in our lives. Being a son, being a daughter, being a friend, a professional, it's just so much. So how we balance these roles while staying true to our core identity is super, super important. So we must adapt and grow in each of those roles, but never lose the insight of your authentic self. Okay? Your authentic self. And we're going to dive deeper into that on the next part. And the last and final one is growth and transformation. So our identity is just not at a standstill. We're always growing. I know I mentioned this at the beginning, but we're always growing, right? It just doesn't stay in one spot. So over time, you know, it evolves. Our identity starts to evolve. That's why I said when you go into that self-reflection, don't ponder on the past, because you evolved from that person and you will continue to evolve. Don't stay stagnant on where you are today, because we are at a constant we're on a constant learning wheel. Okay, we're always learning, we're always growing. And I really feel like that's one of the reasons God put us here, is to learn, teach, grow, and create. Learn from those experiences that you went through in the past. Learn from those challenges so you can make those better choices and decisions while you progress in your life. So growth and transformation is super important. And just allow that journey to just shape who you are becoming, because you are becoming the person God ordained you to be at the end of the day. So you have to be confident and walk in it. And my mentor mentioned something about confidence, which I felt was so profound. He said that confidence, like, do you have confidence within you? And when you break down confidence, you have confide. So do you trust yourself enough to confide in yourself and be confident in you to authentically walk in the path that God has desired you to walk in? We all have a calling over our lives, but the test is, will you walk in it? Will you deliver on your assignment? So that is it. That is our small little journey into just understanding and embracing our identity. This is just part one. We're going to follow up with another one, part two. And I really look forward to you coming back. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye, beautiful.